everybody, back for day 5 of this 30-day Beginner's Junk Journal Challenge, and what we're going to do today is make what is a snippet, and usually they're called snippet rolls, and they're long and you can roll them up, and then as you want you can cut off bits for what is called embellishments. So today is a little bit about embellishments. It's still ephemera, but it's also an embellishment. So ephemera is kind of a general big word, and then under the umbrella we have pockets, tuck spots, snippets, and what I will do is show you. So this is a little bit slippery because it's the baking paper. So we're going to use a little bit of something like art glitter glue or PVA, something like that. I like to sew mine down after I've stuck everything. So I don't put a lot of glue on because I know I'm going to sew. If you're not going to be sewing because you don't have a sewing machine, you will need to think a little bit more about how well you secure these down with glue. So what I start with is some of the page from the book we've used. So I've just ripped up bits and pieces, and I just want to get them down so they stay in place when I sew. Now some people like to do them this way and then leave the messy edges. There's no right or wrong. It's all how you feel about it, how you like, what you like the look of, and what you want your book to look like in the end. If it's your personal book, then you're going to do it the way you want it, so you enjoy looking at it. If it's for a gift for a friend, you might like to look at their style, what they like, and do it according to that. So really we're just getting this basic background type laid down. The type and the pages are fabulous backgrounds. Now there's really no right and wrong about this. It's really just a way to use your scraps. It's simple as that. As you know, we've already talked about it, about upcycling and recycling. Okay, so I've got some bits of lace. I've got some of the paper. I've got some of the end papers. You might, if you haven't got end papers because you used your own paper, or because there weren't any end papers in the book, that's okay. You can add in. Now there's all different ways you can go with this. You can diagonal it, straight up and down. Either way, we're looking for how it looks at the end. It always looks a bit weird at the start. It does start off looking very weird. But it comes together. You can choose whether you want bits of the baking paper to show through or not. I tend to just see it as, well, it was a bit of scrap and we're using it as a backing. I have seen all different types of things used. In fact, someone used their old, in a Facebook group I'm in, someone used their old shopping dockets, and I thought that was a really great idea. Okay, so we've got these on. Now we want a little bit of the pages, because we want to keep those there. So once again, in terms of this one book, I'm using the elements that'll pull it together from a design perspective into the overall book having a coherent look about it. That's cute, that little windmill there. Now with the bits of lace, so I was just using art glitter glue for this particular one because it's quite quick. You can place it down and it can take really quickly. We've got Fabric Fix, and it's a silicone based glue that will just stick material. So I'm not putting a lot in because I know I like to sew. If you're going to be not sewing and you just want it like this, then you might want to make sure you put quite a bit of glue on to keep them down. If you don't have a sewing machine and you still wanted to sew, you could still slow stitch. I love that. I'm enjoying doing a bit of slow stitching lately. So because I know I'm going to sew, I'm also a little bit careful about how much glue I put on, because don't forget, every time you are gluing something and then sewing it, it goes through the sewing machine. So the needle will pick up the glue, so you've got to be a little bit careful about that. Okay, just got a couple of these little fabricy flowers as well. With these ones, with the paper, you can go vertical, horizontal, diagonally, however you feel with your little strips. It's really, of course, it's designed to use up your bits and pieces. There we go. Okay, so I have one I really prepared already, and I have this one. As you can see, this one doesn't go too far out of the boundaries of this backing sheet. This might be one that I won't cut all the edges off. This one goes quite a bit out of the backing, and I like the look. I like cutting it. I like it being trimmed down once I've sewn it. So I'm going to go and sew these, and I'll come back and then we can have a look at how they look. Okay, so I'm back with the sewn bits. We're just going to trim off these little bits. Now some people sometimes leave those on, so that's entirely up to you as well. I've done two different styles. One I've just done a straight stitch. Sometimes it bunches up at the back. I don't always profess to know my sewing machine really well. So I've chosen, it doesn't really matter what's on the back because that'll be stuck down, but I've chosen a kind of a coppery mustardy colour to blend in with the overall look of how I'm going for the book, and with the lace and everything as well. So you can see that this really helps the lace to stick down. Okay, so I wouldn't do anything to this. It's got little bits poking out. It doesn't matter. That's perfectly fine with me. This one, I did something I hadn't done before. It was a new thing. I zigzagged all the way around and then did a little cross zigzag. So that's holding down the bits of material as well. This one though, what I would like to do with these is cut it and this is something I do to neaten it up. Obviously, if there's a bit of material, you might think twice about whether you want to cut that or not. It could hang over. I tend to do this because I like to then scan my snippets in. Snippet rolls usually, but let's revisit it and call them snippet strips, because I couldn't think before what I might like to call them. I like to scan them in. So I've got, I've made a printable of this. I've scanned it in, and I've scanned in a couple up, and then made it so as it can be printed out as a flat printed out piece. So here's an example. I've got 4 snippet rolls that I've made. I've put them all in on the scanning bed. I've scanned it, and now I have a bit of paper that I can use for collaging. So I've got some of those in the Etsy shop if anyone's interested. Okay, so today, for our day 5, we've made another type of ephemera, and we've got these ready to use in our book when we are coming to stockpile it all and bring it all together. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I certainly did. I have to say, I don't know why, and I say it every time, I don't know why, but I love making these. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the creativity, maybe it's the bits and pieces all coming together. Don't know, I love it. Anyway, that's day 5. Don't forget to tag, if you're uploading pictures to Instagram, don't forget to use the hashtag. I should have printed it out because it took me a while to work it out what it was. Anyway, it's in the box below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you for day 6 tomorrow. Bye.